handling this kind of issue in the House. Question number 8, the Honourable Darren Hughes.
Thank you, sir. Mr Speaker, my question is to the Minister of Transport and asks, does he support measures that are alternatives to roading?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, yes, I support transport infrastructure investments which at least make some sort of economic sense, which I appreciate might be too narrow a range of possibilities for the member opposite.
The Honourable Darren Hughes.
Didn't take him long.
It's a bit nasty.
I saw you thinking slightly there, Mr Speaker. I think I know what you were thinking. It was actually a very simple and straightforward question, and then we got a sort of slightly kind of spinny answer coming back, having a political whack, and you're taking a rather hard line on political whacks where there's not an invitation for one in the first place. I totally agree, sir, that when a minister leads with a political nose, they can expect one to come straight back at them. In that case, the question did not seek that kind of response.
I invite the Minister to offer the House an answer to the question that the member asked.
Mr Speaker, as I said, I support transport infrastructure investments that make at least some sort of economic sense.
The Honourable Darren Hughes.
Supplementary question to the Minister. Did he consult John Key when he cut 90% out of projected spending on coastal shipping recently, given that Mr Key had said that an integrated structure for moving freight around the country consisting of roading and rail, as well as coastal shipping, was something he supported? If so, how does he reconcile this broken promise?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
A number of questions there, Mr Speaker. The government policy statement was consulted with Cabinet.
Todd McClay.
To the Minister of Transport, who has been the most critical of last week's transport announcements?
Honourable Stephen Joyce.
I have seen numerous reports from one individual last week whose criticisms could be summed up as saying variously that our announcements were too little and then too much, too little again and then too much again, too early and then too little and then too much and then too late. The Honourable Darren Hughes seems to be of the view that a new government should be bound to continue with all the policies of the old one, which was thrown out of office.
The Honourable Darren Hughes.
Does the Minister agree that, as a matter of principle, it would be unacceptable for a public transport provider to be chosen as the provider of integrated ticketing in Auckland, given that such a contract could allow the... You ready?
Order. I say to members, actually, I was finding it quite difficult to hear the member asking the question. A little more reasonableness, please, on interjection.
I'll start again,
I invite
Mr.
you to start again. The Honourable
Speaker,
Darren
to the
Hughes.
Minister for Transport. Does he agree that, as a matter of principle, it would be unacceptable for a public transport provider to be chosen as the provider of integrated ticketing, given that such a contract could allow the provider access to commercial information properly belonging to commercial competitors?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, integrated ticketing is currently subject to a tender and funding decision from the NZTA. I don't think it would be appropriate for me as Minister to comment further.
The Honourable Darren Hughes.
That's very good. To the Minister, what issues on the 2 occasions that he met with Infratrail New Zealand Bus since taking office, and while they were tendering for the Auckland contract, were raised with him in relation to integrated ticketing?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, the representatives of New Zealand Bus and a number of other bus companies I have spoken to have raised a number of issues around the operation of the public transport system.
What about integrated ticketing?
Question